Good morning. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Melissa if you're new here. Thank you for being here today. I am finally taking care of my imports. I got these, I think it's been 2 months, probably longer. I think it was February when I got the import. I did unbox it with you and I haven't done, to be honest, I haven't really done anything with them. I just set them up. They're still in perlite. I have them, you can see a little bit right there. They're in a big, like 2 big tote bins, and it's like quarantine. I have been checking on them every week, making sure they're not drying out or no issues have popped up, and I have like refreshed I have been giving them a little bit of nutrients and like refreshing, and I do have new growth and new roots and stuff like that coming in. I just have delayed potting them up. It's been like, I probably should have done this a few weeks ago, but as you know, I was doing my plant room all last week and into this week, and that just took priority. So I am finally going to take care of them with you today. I don't think I'm going to be potting them all up today because I know one isn't really doing that well. And then the Hoya, I don't think the Hoya has rooted, but it is trying to grow. And that's the thing with imports. I feel like sometimes it just takes a while to acclimate. And since mine did come, some of them, the Anthurium, the bigger one, came with cold damage. And I just think to that time of year and everything that imports go through, it can just take a while for them to kind of bounce back and actually look good. I do still believe they're all going to make it. I just need to give some extra TLC to a couple of them. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and bring the container. I think right here, I made some room on the kitchen table because I need the sink. So I'll bring that bin right here and I'll kind of take them all out and work on them one by one because I want to clean their roots, make sure that anything that has rotted off in the meantime over the past like month or so, I'll trim that away and I'll rinse them and inspect them like one more time. I haven't noticed any pest popping up because it's been a good 2 months, which is always a good thing. Because they are imports, you just never know. Even though I've had them in quarantine, I want to do a thorough inspection before I put them with the rest of my plants. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to finally taking care of these. So I'll be back in a bit. I'm going to grab everything I need in the bin and we'll kind of get started right here. I'll give you a look at them all and we'll start potting them up. Okay, I'm back. I think I have everything I need here. I'll give you a quick overview and then we'll get started. I brought out all the pots that I think I would need for each individual plant. I took the lid off. I think humidity is like 51 right now, so I think they'll be fine if they get some lower humidity. It wasn't staying like super humid with the lid on because I didn't have it like latched or anything, but I think they'll be fine. And so the Anthurium I wanted to try and do in my pond mix. I actually made a chunkier pond recently for the Monstera Jungle Mint. I chopped it earlier this week, so I'm gonna be trying this out for the Anthurium. And then one Anthurium I am going to rehab in some moss and perlite. I have to wet this and mix it up. And then I brought out my like more dense mix. This is the Tree Fern Cocoa Core Perlite. And we're gonna be potting, I think 2 plants up in this, maybe 3 depending on the root system. And then I brought out some other pots that I think I would need. And yeah, I think I have everything here that I need. And then moving along this way, I was watering some plants last night. So I have some nutrient mix already made up, so that's ready to go. And then I have shears, alcohol, and gloves. And I'm gonna be working over the sink because, like I said, they're all in perlite still. Well, I think 2 is in stratum and perlite. And I'm gonna be getting rid of all this like nasty perlite and everything. So I'm going to rinse them under the sink and trim off any of the rotted roots and all of that. So yeah, I'll go ahead and give you an overview of how everyone is doing. I'll take down the Anthurium. All right, so in the import, there were 8 plants total. 5 were Anthurium, and I'll go ahead and show you how they're all doing really quick. So this is the variegated Potato radiatum. And like I said, I've been like rehabbing them pretty much just in perlite. And some of these guys are growing in. You can actually see some healthy roots, and I feel like I want to go ahead and try pon out for these because they already have some water roots forming and everything. This guy had put out a new leaf in quarantine. You can see that beautiful yellow variegation. So that one's new, and then these are 2 original leaves. Some of them have kind of like wrinkled, and I feel like this one here is on its way out. It's kind of a bit yellow, but I'll probably leave both of these on for now. But you can tell the newest leaf, it doesn't have the fingers yet. So hopefully as the plant kind of grows and matures, we'll get those beautiful eyelash leaves, because my plant was beautiful, my regular green one that I had. So I'm excited for this guy. This one seems to be doing very well. This one was another, I think this was another butterfly type Anthurium, because I got the King of Spades butterfly, which I really wanted. This one has quite a bit of yellowing going on. It did put out a new leaf recently. So I'm definitely trimming this leaf away, and this one's kind of going too, so I might go ahead and cut that one away. So it'll be left with 2 leaves. And then this one here is growing in a ton of like new healthy roots. There are some roots in here that are still rotted. So pretty much all the import roots have rotted off, and these are all like new healthy roots that have grown in. So yeah, it's done well. I hope I get more leaves that have like the flatter sinus, because the new one came in not quite like that. So I feel like even though this one looks bad right now, I feel like it's adjusted and has grown in pretty good. This guy here still looks the same. This is the one that I thought wasn't going to make it. This was the variegated clarinervium, but it was a seedling, and it definitely lost leaves like right after unboxing it. And I mentioned I was going to move it to moss to rehab, and I just never did, and I should have. I feel like I would have probably a different plant by now. It does have a root. I don't know if it's healthy, and it still is kind of turned down like this. So this guy I'm going to go ahead and move to moss and perlite and continue rehabbing before I pot it up, but hopefully it does make it. So it just has not done anything in the time that it's been like rehabbing. So I should have moved it to moss initially, so that's probably my fault on that guy. And this one here definitely struggled. This is the King Clarinervium, and it had the worst root system, and it still doesn't really have a good root system. I don't even know. Yeah, I can't even see any healthy roots peeking out, and that's crazy because, like I said, these have been rehabbing for like 8 weeks already. It did put out a new leaf right here. It kind of got mangled a little bit because it was stuck down in the lid, and then it's putting out a tiny little inflow. And it did put out, I think, or no, this was a leaf. This one yellowed, and then clearly this one is yellowing. I just don't think it's producing any healthy roots. I'm gonna have to get in here and look because I can't quite see what's going on like in the middle. I can't quite remember how long the stump was on this one. So this one, I don't know. It may need to rehab longer before I pot it up. So this one is a maybe. And then the King Clarinervium was the reason why I did this import order. It arrived with cold damage, the newest leaf. I cut away because you could obviously see the cold damage. And then this one is yellowing, and it did have more cold damage. You can kind of see a little bit. It didn't look like the healthiest. This kind of showed up pretty early after the unboxing and everything. So this one's definitely going to go. And then this leaf here is doing okay still. So I may just clip this one and leave just the one leaf for now. This one took in pretty well. It's growing in a ton of new roots. This one had a pretty good root system from what I can remember. And then you can see some of the old roots are still rotting off. So definitely clean this up a bit. And this guy I think will do really well in pon. And I think it is getting ready to push a new leaf. So that'll be exciting. So this one will be really good to go ahead and transfer today. So that's all the Anthurium. So like I said, this one is questionable. This one needs rehabbing. And then the other 3 are good to pot up. And this one here was the Aglaonema. This one has done very well. It still looks the same. I think I clipped, did I clip a yellow leaf away? I'm not sure, but this one is kind of yellowing, so I'll probably clip this away. And then it's growing in a ton of new roots as well. I thought about like maybe I should do this one in pon, but I think I'll just transfer this to my soil mix. I don't think I want to do pon because I want to put this one in my bathroom, I think, maybe. And I'd rather have it in a soil mix in there. It's really pretty. It's put out, I forget how many new leaves. I think it's put out like 3 to 4 new leaves in the time that it's been in quarantine. Like all these here are new. It's definitely growing pretty fast, and I love the variegation. So we'll get this one potted up today. The variegated oxalis has done very well. I was a little worried because it took a bit to start growing. It still has this weird, weird leaf. And then the other, it had another one that yellowed and it spit out one more that was all variegated. Oh, this one here. This one is probably not going to last long. And then it's put out, you know, some beautiful leaves with variegation, and it's flowering for me, which is cute. I do see roots, so this one I'm gonna put in my soil mix. And I do have the regular purple oxalis outside, but I wanna grow this one in my plant room. I think it would do really well in there, and I love the variegation. So it's done well, surprisingly, like in the shape. It was down to like one little tuber, one leaf. It's bounced back nicely. I will say I have underwatered the stratum perlite. I have this one in the Hoya quite often because these little cups dry out so fast. And I had a fan going in here on like high circulating air, and so I felt like the airflow was drying these guys out quite a bit. But if I didn't have a fan running on high enough, I noticed like molding happening, and I'm like, no, I gotta go ahead and put like a fan in there. So I kind of underwatered these a bit, and I hope that didn't negatively affect the Hoya. This one I don't think is rooting yet, which is crazy. The original leaves still feel a bit soft and wrinkled, but this tendril is growing longer, so it's definitely alive and it's growing. It's probably grown all of this here. I filled it up last night because it was dry, so what I might do, I might pot it up without any roots in my tree fern mix and see how it goes, or I could just leave it in here longer. I may just need to give this guy like a more contained, smaller space with more light. I feel like that would encourage rooting because this guy was sitting at the very bottom in here because the grow lights were kind of farther away from these guys because they were sitting down so low. So I feel like if I give more light, like more intense light, it should do fine. So I may do that. I may just take it out of here. I do want to check though and see what's going on down here because it lost its stem. So there was no stem. And my other Hoya that I had imported a couple years ago, when it did the same thing, it eventually rooted. It just took a while. So I do feel like it's going to root. It's just taking a really long time. But I'm happy to see that it's actually like growing. It's just struggling a bit. This is the Calypsiorum splash that I was really looking forward to. I've had beneficials in here too, and I have like rice hulls that were in here. I had put some lacewing larvae in here and mites and everything, so I'm pretty sure there's no pests on these guys. I'll look over again very thoroughly before, you know, I put them in with my collection. The anthurium I will be putting with my other anthuriums over here. I have to make room. And the rehab guy I'm gonna put somewhere else. Yeah, this guy I want to go ahead and get put in my plant room because I set up my red studs yesterday in there, and this will be perfect in there. I just don't know where to put this one in the meantime, so I'll have to figure out where. I could put him over here in the window. I feel like it would look good in the window over here. I don't know if you guys want to watch me take care of all of these. I guess I will go ahead and film all of it, but if for those of you that don't really care or don't really want to watch all the way through, then that's, I guess, the update. If you don't want to see like potting them up and everything, that's kind of how they've been doing. So I'll go ahead and film like me taking care of all these. It might be like a longer video. And then I'll show you what they look like, you know, at the very end once they're all potted up and the ugly leaves are clipped away and everything. And then I'll show you where I'm going to put them. So if you want to stick around for that part at the end, but I'll like have everything bookmarked down below if you don't really care about the potting up part. So yeah, I will go ahead and meet you at the sink. I might speed a lot of this up because all I'm going to do is dump out the perlite and trim roots and everything. I'm just gonna cut, oh, you can't see, like it's mushy right here. I'll have to figure out later if I want to trim one of these leaves, but I think that's what I'll do for now. I think that looks good. Oh, this one's rotting too. I'll cut that off. Okay, so it's got one good, one good root. I'm gonna use a plastic bag and I'm gonna stick roots as I rinse them like in here so that they don't dry out. You know what I mean? Like this, that way they can still be moist by the time I go to pot them up. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna lay these all out right here. Dang, this one has a robust root system. Look at that. That's crazy. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and pull this other yellow leaf off. Okay, this one I'm curious about. Yeah, it just has not rooted. It's got one root right here, but all this has not rooted. I mean, it feels firm. Maybe. Like right here though, kind of feels a little mushy. I wonder if I should just cut all this away. I think I'm going to. I think I'm just gonna prop this, you guys. Right here, I'm gonna go for it. I hope that's not a bad idea, but this just doesn't look good. This leaf is yellowing. I'm gonna go ahead and pull it. So it's down to a baby leaf. That's crazy. I hope I just didn't kill this thing. It's gonna have to go in a much smaller pot though, because it's only got one good root. Right there, that's crazy. It's got another little one forming right here though. And this just looks nasty, this thing here. This is all rotted. We're clipping all this off. I mean, there could be something that comes out of this stump. Okay, I think what I'll do is put this in some moss and see what happens. If it rots, oh well. But if something grows out of here, then I can have another second plant growing, you know? So we'll see. Big one here. Whoa, look at that. See, this one looks a lot healthier. It doesn't look as black. Okay, some of these are definitely rotted. I want to get rid of some of these. I should probably re-sanitize my shears after cutting into rot. I think some of these were original leaves here, or original roots, and then it's rooting from the original root, but the original root is starting to rot, so I'm just clipping some of it away. I do think I want to go ahead and get rid of this leaf here. I want to go ahead and pluck it off. Yeah, that's pretty good, I must say. This leaf is all green. It kind of looks, I don't like the way that it's looking. It's kind of yellowing too. I'm going to cut this one. There, that looks better. And yeah, the root system on this looks pretty good. And oh shit, I just ripped that leaf off. I guess it was coming off anyway. Well, shucks, is this even salvageable now? It's like rotted up here. If this comes back, this will be a miracle. I'm gonna stick it in moss though, because there may be a node down here. I mean, it was growing in some healthy root. Okay, this is our beheaded Clarinervium variegated seedling. Oh, I don't know, you guys. We'll see. I'm going to stick it in moss anyway. I might as well go ahead and check these because I have to dump this anyway. Oh, this is coming right out. Oh, it is turning, it's trying to root. Just not where I thought it was going to. Okay, I have one new root, one little root that is performing for the plant. This stump is what rotted here. Oh, it still feels kind of mushy. Let's see. Oh, okay. It's trying to root like off the base of the stem here. So I think if I plant this down a little further in substrate, I think it'll go ahead and root for me. I think I might do that. That way I can just get it out of that wet stratum. That's what I'm gonna do with this guy. And the oxalis here. The flower fell off. That's our little root system, so we'll get this potted up. All right, I am back with everyone. Everyone here. I have so much stuff here. I think I'll go ahead and do the ones in soil first and knock those out, and then we'll mess with the moss and pond. So we'll do the oxalis and the Hoya and the aglaonema in soil with the chunk up that way. It'll be exciting to do another update on these in maybe like another month or two, 6 weeks. I need to get another one of these. The Hoya is definitely going to go in here. I think I was going to pot the oxalis in a bigger pot, you know, so that I think I will. It's a little big though. I'm gonna pot the Hoya in a small pot, 3-inch. And I had that pin. I'm gonna pin this guy in here since it's rooting from right here. I'm just gonna make sure I get that in the substrate. I'll get this guy under better light. I might actually go ahead and put it in my Rhode cabinet over there. I'm gonna be potting up all my new Hoya soon too, so I might go ahead and film that. All those new cuttings I got. I would say most of them have, I think all but 1 or 2 doesn't have a growth point yet, and then the rest are rooting in, they have a growth point, so I might go ahead and get those potted. It's weird, I had 2 bins of quarantine plants, these in that big container, and then yesterday I cleared out the other one because I moved all those plants to my plant room in the Rhode, or not Rhode, the Millsbo Wide. And with these gone, and if I eliminate the Hoya, because the Hoya are down there still, I'm not gonna have any plants in quarantine, which is crazy. Okay, I'm gonna pin this somewhere here. I'll water these, I think, at the end. So that's potted up and it's pinned, and hopefully it just roots and we'll get some new growth. It makes me happy though that this is growing and I at least have 1 root. So it should root up in here. Shoot, I need to go get a smaller pot for this one. I was gonna do the aglaonema in a clear pot because I was looking for something tall, because these pots, you know, aren't that tall. And because the stem is really long, I think I'll pot it in here, even though it's a little bit big. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll pot it in here. Actually, this would look really pretty in my plant room too, but I don't want to overcrowd my plant room. I might get a support stake for this one when I go to water it. I love the underside of the leaves, the color. And let me go get a pot for this guy. We'll pot down. Or should I just go ahead and pot in this one? I might just go ahead and use this one, even though it's a little big. It'll grow into it. Its leaves are folding up. Is it because I was messing with it? Or maybe it's not getting good light right now. It thinks it's nighttime. Okay, I'm not going to fill it all the way up to the top. So pretty. Once this fills in, it's going to look so good. I'll do the moss last because I'm going to need to get a different container for this stump. So I'll do the pond next. This is actually going a lot quicker than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to take me a while. So this is the new chunkier pond that I made earlier this week. It's still lava rock, pumice, and zeolites, but the stones are bigger. So I'm like testing this out for some plants with some thicker roots, like Monstera, and I feel like the Anthurium, like this guy, look at those chunky roots. I feel like it's going to like the chunkier pond. I'll go ahead and do him. And this guy will do, and this one, yeah. I'm wondering if I should get a bigger pot. No, I'm gonna stick with this one for now. I don't want to overwhelm it. I have most of my Anthurium in a chunky mix, minus a few. The few that I have in pond, I want to replace it. They just need to be repotted. It's been a really long time, and I'd love to replace it with like a chunkier pond like this. So when I get some time, I'll have to do that here because I still have like a good third of my Anthuriums to repot. Oh, I like that. It looks nice. I wish I could get more of these like top roots in pond. I do have a little collar that I can put around and do that, but I'll hold off for now. I'll see how it does because it was growing, you know, a ton of roots down here. Beautiful. I hope I get more of a flat sinus that comes in. So there's that guy. Oh, I got this one because I was going to do the, was it the King Clarinarium? I'm going to have to do in a smaller one. So I'll use this for the other one with the good root system. This one here. The other butterfly one. It looks really, really cute. Why do I have two? Oh, never mind. I thought it was just one left. I'm like, wait a minute, the Clarinervium, because it's so small now. It's like, what the heck? Compared to when I unboxed it, that's crazy. Well, I'm excited to see these in a couple more months, see how they grow in. See, it's mid-April, so maybe like June, they should be looking good. Okay, this one. Yeah, I'll leave those. There's that one. It's like so small now. Okay, and then we have our stumps in there. All right, let's get this poor thing potted up. What the heck? Okay, there's our sad King Clarinervium. That's so tiny. On is done. Okay, I had to get another cup for the other stump, and We're gonna put these guys in moss and cover them like a little dome so they get high humidity. And then I'll most likely put these in a cabinet. I just have to figure out where I wanna put them. So we're gonna do King Clary. And I'm gonna go ahead and put the rehab date today. I just like to know. Okay. King Clary for the stump. I mean, we have this guy, but if this one doesn't do well, then maybe the stump will regrow. We'll see. And then I'm gonna put variegated Clary. That one there. I got this moss way too wet, so I had to make sure to wring this out. I was really hoping this variegated clarinervium would do well, because I love clarinervium. It's like all the stump that's left. I hope there's a growth point. That looks good. I'll tape this here at the end. Variegated clary down in there. Okay, I'm gonna nestle this stump down in here. I rehabbed several of my anthurium. Well, not several. I've rehabbed a few like this in moss and no leaves or anything, just a stump, and they've grown back. So we shall see with this one. King Clary. I brought some tape. I think what I'll do is take my soldering iron and poke like 2 little holes for ventilation. All right, I'll meet you at the sink. We'll get these watered and get them put in their spot, figure out where they're gonna go. And yeah, I'll be excited to update on these here again. I'm excited for them all though. All right, the Hoya, I went ahead and put in the Rhode cabinet. I'll probably rearrange or move it around in there somewhere once I go to water again. But I just put it right in there because, like I said, I'm going to be potting up the other Hoya very soon, and so I'll have to rearrange that space a little bit. So I feel like it'll do good in the cabinet because it's going to get more light and a little bit more controlled environment in there. And I feel like too, the anthuriums were kind of like hovering over the oxalis and the smaller plants in the quarantine bin. So I feel like it'll do fine in there. And then the oxalis, I went ahead and put in one of my Milsbo wides in my plant room. So those are new. The cabinet that I put that one in is going to be more controlled. I'm trying to keep humidity around 80, like 70 to 80, because I have some begonia in there that prefer more humidity. So I'm still playing around because I just set it up yesterday. So I'll have to see how it goes, but I feel like it's going to love being in there. And then the anthurium I put in the other one, there's 2 wide cabinets that I put in there. And then the other one is going to be like a prop cabinet slash maybe rehab cabinet. So I feel like those would do best in that environment. And they're under grow lights and getting really good humidity. So hopefully those will do well. And that's it for the plant room. Oh, the aglaonema I put here in the window, right in front of me for now. I may not leave it there. I'll have to figure out a spot that I want to put it in, let it grow in. I had an available spot right there and I'm like, you know what? It's going to get some decent light in the window, so I'll just let it grow there for right now. And then the anthurium, I cleared some space on the shelf over here so they could all be together. So when I'm over here looking at them, my eyes can like see all of them together. I didn't leave any water in the pot because I want to promote like oxygenation, more airflow. And what I'll probably do is maybe water through every 3 to 4 days, depending on how quickly the pond dries out. I'm gonna have to play it by ear and see how it does, because it's my first time experimenting with chunky pond, minus the monstera that I potted up recently. And I'm just gonna get a feel for how it dries out and everything, and I don't want to overwhelm. I feel like the root system's still pretty fragile with those guys, and I don't want to overwhelm them with too much water and everything. So I'll probably just water over the top, maybe like twice a week, and let it drain. And then as they grow in more roots, then I'll start to leave more water in the reservoir, if that makes sense. So I'll have to see how those do, but I think that spot in front of a grow light right there will be really good for them. Especially with the pond, I feel like it'll provide a little extra humidity around the base, so I think they'll be fine out of the quarantine bin that I had it in. And yeah, I think that's it with those guys. I'm curious how they're going to do for me over the next month or two. So since it's mid-April right now, what I'll probably do is I'll see how they're looking towards the end of May, and I'll either update then or I'll update sometime in June, give it like a full 2 months. And yeah, I think that wraps up today's video. I'm gonna get this mess cleaned up and wash out all those vases and the quarantine bin and everything and get all this put away. But I hope you enjoyed it, and like I said, check back in another 6 to 8 weeks and I'll have another update on these for you. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Thank you so much for being here and for watching, and I will talk to you again soon.